हेलो हेलो। हाँ हाँ बोलिए। हाँ हेलो। हाँ हाँ सर, नमस्कार। फिर उसमें यही लिखना है टू whom so ever it may concern करके। वो बोल रही है मैडम टू whom so ever it may concern। और दिस इज टू सर्टिफाई दैट, दिस इज टू सर्टिफाई दैट मेसर साहब भोला सरन सिंह विथ अकाउंट नंबर मेंटेनिंग अकाउंट नंबर सो एंड सो। नहीं मान रही है, वो बोल रही है कि हमारे यहाँ ऑडिट है और नो ऑब्जेक्शन, एनओसी चाहिए। हाँ 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 हाँ। अ, एगो लेक्चर दे रहे हैं, उसके बाद बात कर लेते हैं आपसे अलग से, है ना। एगो एगो तुरंत हम बतिया ले रहे हैं, बस आधा घंटा बाद हम फोन करेंगे ना आपको। गुड मॉर्निंग एंड hope you all must be staying with me. Today's topic for discussion is colibacillosis in poultry. This colibacillosis is an acute fetal septicemia or subacute pericarditis or airsac colitis in poultry. It is a common systemic disease of economic importance in poultry, or also seen in worldwide in poultry, in various poultry farm. So this E. coli infection, which is a consistent feature of each and every farm maintained in unhygienic condition. So this is a disease of immense economic importance. This disease, I mean colibacillosis in poultry, is also known commonly by another name like coligranuloma or Zares disease or colysepticemia, and also Musi chick disease. The other pathotype which are very often seen in poultry farm are ear sac colitis or sullen head syndrome, venereal colibacillosis or coliform cellulitis, peritonitis, salpingitis, orchitis, osteomyelitis, synovitis. These are the various manifestations of the same infectious disease, that is colibacillosis or E. coli infection. You can also find the E. coli infection in terms of panophthalmitis, of omphalitis or yolk sac infection in young chicks. Enteritis are another features which are most commonly found in the poultry birds. This disease, I mean E. coli infection or colibacillosis in poultry, is considered as one of the major cause of the morbidity and high mortality associated with heavy economic losses to the poultry industry. By its association, I mean, so many times it happens that the E. coli infection is secondary cause for the disease, and only in few cases you will find this pathogen as a primary pathogen or primary pathogen for causation of the disease. So in most of the cases it get associated, or you will find a concurrent infection with mycoplasma and various fungi, and also with histomoniasis and IBD infection. IBD, histomoniasis, will be the primary pathogen, and this E. coli will be the secondary pathogen, and it will cause a secondary complication in the disease in the poultry bird. So with this background, we will come to the next slide. The cause of this disease, better to say colibacillosis, is a bacterial infection. In particular, this will be called as this bacteria is called as avian pathogenic Escherichia coli or APEC. E. coli bacteria are ubiquitous or present everywhere, and there are various serotypes of E. coli which are normal inhabitant of intestine. They are estimated that it is estimated that 10 to 15% of intestinal coliform are potentially pathogenic, and the rest of them, I mean 80 to 85% of the intestinal coliforms are beneficial for intestinal health, but only few of them, I mean 10 to 15%, are of pathogenic in nature. Infection could be, E. coli infection could be either a primary or a secondary infection. In most of the cases, primary host defense damage occurs uh, by another causative agent like virus, mycoplasma, or parasite, or by any wound or infection, aseptic or septic wound, or by altered nutrition. And this E. coli found to be secondary in nature. The species which are affected mostly by E. coli infection are chickens and turkey, and the rest, another goose or in another poultry birds are found to be less susceptible as compared with the chicken and turkeys. As far as age bracket is concerned, all the ages of bird are susceptible to E. coli or colibacillosis, but younger bird of less than few weeks are more frequently affected, and the severity of the disease is greater noticed in young birds. The clinical signs and lesion of the E. coli infection depends on the specific disease induced by E. coli. In few birds, you may find variant form of cellulitis to mild form of cellulitis to severe form. Lameness and retarded growth are consistent feature for the poultry bird affected with E. coli infection. There is increased mortality and reduced feed intake wherever the bird get affected with E. coli. You will find variable morbidity and mortality depending upon the pathogenicity and virulence of the bacteria involved or the strain of the Apis avian pathogenic Escherichia coli involved. Uh, so the morbidity and mortality depends on the host and the infectious agent. If the bird is immunocompetent, there will be less morbidity and less mortality. If the bird is immunocompromised and a stressed one, and the bacteria being involved is more pathogenic one, then you will find high morbidity and high mortality in your farm affected with E. coli infection. As far as necropsy lesion in the bird is concerned, you will find a consistent lesion, that is fibrinous hepatitis, perihepatitis, or fibrinous pericarditis. You will find leathery or membranous covering over the liver and heart as well. You will find congestion and regression of ovarian follicle in the grown-up bird also. You will find thickened tracheal and bronchial plug if E. coli infection gets complicated with mycoplasmal or respiratory infection. Cholesepticemia, you may find cholesepticemia in combination with polyserositis, salpingitis, osteomyelitis, synovitis, enteritis, meningitis, and in case of young bird, it often get complicated with omphalitis. In the picture showing fibrinous hepatitis in the broiler chicken, whereas this another picture shown on the slide is an example of clear-cut omphalitis complicated with E. coli infection in a broiler chicken. As far as diagnosis is concerned, the presence of symptoms and sign is enough for tentative diagnosis. The confirmation of colibacillosis requires an isolation and an identification in the laboratory of pathogenic coliform bacteria. Most of the strain of E. coli and other coliform are naturally present in the gastrointestinal tract of the bird. However, pathogenic strain could be identified depending upon the specific structure like cell wall and villi under the microscope. As far as treatment is concerned, it could be selected based on the antibiotic sensitivity test, and the control measure for the E. coli infection in the uh, poultry farm is concerned, you should maintain hygiene management or better hygienic condition, better hatching egg management will, of course, uh, lessen the threat of E. coli infection. You can go for E. coli vaccination program against the primary cause like respiratory virus infection, coccidiosis, IBD, so that secondary infection of E. coli could be avoided in the farm. So this is all about E. coli infection. So this is all about E. coli infection in poultry bird. Now the session is quite open for discussion. You are most welcome with your inquisitive questions.